Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 143. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by the one, the only, the Ronald Man Buck. Now,
Hi.
hello. He is back. Let's share screen, run the intro. Which one's the intro? This one. Go live. Intro, full screen. Well. Hasn't been too long since we've had you.
No. But there's been a lot that's gone on.
That is certainly for sure. Well, where and what do you want to start with?
I don't know. You're the guy who hosts this, so you tell me.
Oh, that's true. Well, okay, so my question is, how long did it actually take the computer shop to fix your computer? Because, I mean, I know you went and then installed a new motherboard and new CPU and new all that crap.
Well, I'm pretty sure in the end it was about a 2-week process. The only problem that we ran into was we had to wait for the processor for like 2 or 3 days extra or something instead with shipping. I was waiting on that. But when your computer houses all of your videos, your mod profiles, all of the models, every game that's installed, and basically anything you've put on there since the dawn of time, cloning that from a drive to a drive and then moving that back to another drive and then checking if everything checked on that drive took quite a bit longer than they thought. So I called them on, I was waiting 3 days for just a phone call to say you're done. And I literally called them twice, and then I showed up the night before I went and picked it up the next day. And I was like, well, I was just checking. They said it might be either done today or possibly if I don't hear back tomorrow. So I literally drove up to Papillion 40 minutes and went in and walked, said, hey, is my computer done? No, we're checking things through the night. It's running one last check. We'll have it done by tomorrow morning. There goes an hour and 20 minutes round trip of gas.
No kidding. Jesus Christ. They could have called you and said, hey, it's going to be there tonight.
But it was kind of one of those, no news is slightly good news, because that means at least they're still working on it. I'd still trust these guys with that computer to save my life, just for the fact that, I got 2 people raises working on this thing for some of the problems it's had. But that was, when I bought it or when I got it, certain things I didn't check. I put in brand new memory because I was figuring when I got the computer originally, it had 8 or 16 gigs of RAM, and then I realized that one of the sticks wasn't pushed in all the way, so I was only getting half. My streams would keep crashing. So I'm like, well, that's not good. But I put in new stuff, and they clocked it all. The sticks that I have in there now are finally actually running at the speed that they were said to go. Instead of running on dial-up, and I could literally go and make 3 sandwiches in the time that it took for my computer to restart, now it's it restarts, and I can't even get up out of the chair, and it's already ready to go again. So, that has been a plus.
Yeah, memory train takes forever. Mine can restart relatively fast. Kind of depends on the situation. Sometimes it'll restart in no time at all. Other times it'll take a sweet minute. So, did you have to pay for a new Windows copy? I'm assuming not.
Yes.
You did?
Yes. Because of the fact when I originally had it, it's because I guarantee you if I did not have my main primary storage moved to a new M.2 drive, I probably wouldn't have needed to do it. But I told them, hey, if I'm going to do this, I want to prep it for the future, so that way I don't have to worry about anything. I'll have an extra bit of storage. The running rate of everything will just be a little bit quicker. I'm just let's put it on there. I got it home. I had to sift through the, I can't remember what it's called, something key, the registry, whatever it was. editor registry editor or something. I can't remember, but either way, it was something in the computer that where you can look in like a weird menu BIOS, kind of like Task Manager, and it showed it showed your key for the Windows license. And I went to type that in because mine was a 10 license Pro, because that's what came with this computer originally. And it said that copy can't be valid, but that's because of the fact it never necessarily got deactivated or moved to a new device. It was on a different set of storage.
Oh, that's why you had to get a new Windows thing. You have to. So I've been Googling this because I thought in the future if I want to upgrade to a 2 terabyte boot drive, I'm like, what am I going to need to do to make sure I don't have to buy a Windows 11 license, a new Windows 11 license, because that's expensive.
They said if you have 11, that you don't need to worry about that. Like, as long as you have like some way to validate it, whether it's through information or like that, like if you have your original key, whether it's not on the same drive or not, you should be able to put it on that one.
So I don't have the key.
I've been told with 11.
I may have, or may not have, how do I put this? Acquired it through means upon which you are not supposed to acquire keys.
Ah, so you must have gotten it from Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
So my key, it is a verified Windows copy, but I do not know where said key is.
Well, that's what I was saying. You can go into that. I think it's registry editor. There's a way you can actually look it up on the computer itself instead of like having to go into the BIOS and all that stuff when you press the F2. It's like a task manager reference, but it'll show you the key. You can type it in. You can do whatever. All I know is that now my computer's still on Windows 10. I just decided to keep it on that since it worked. It doesn't need to be doing it. But now the computer itself with a motherboard, all the different components, it can just upgrade to 11. My previous one couldn't do that. I gained 2 big ones on that, plus the storage, plus the speed. I mean, I haven't seen like a tremendous like boost in my export speed or my game playing being different. I mean, I could tell it's running smoother. The biggest things that I see are just kind of like the little stuff in the background that are working a bit faster. So it works out. I especially now like the fact that I have built-in Wi-Fi, because I used to have one of those little sticks that stuck into the USB ports, and that technically took up 2 USB ports because it was a pretty wide dongle after the plug-in part. Well, now there's 2 spots open on there if I wanted to plug something in.
Why didn't you just put a card in?
Well, I did. Now it has the built-in Wi-Fi, so it's got a little shark fin.
But why didn't you? But instead of using a USB stick, why didn't you buy a PCI card?
Because I didn't know those things existed.
Ah, okay.
I got to remember, buddy. I'm just smart enough to get by with computers. I don't know when you start tearing them apart.
Oh, that's
you make me go. If you were to have me go into BIOS and tell you what any of that stuff says, it looked like I'm a kid that's sitting in a 4th year of a Russian class.
I couldn't do. I couldn't do BIOS, but no, I have a Wi-Fi card, actually. I don't use it anymore because I'm all wired. But it's there.
I still run Ethernet because for the internet stuff, I run an Ethernet for my like upload or streaming internet. The other two are still wireless, but I keep the modem behind the 2 monitors for mine.
Oh, that's right. You have so many different internets. God.
Which, that also I had a huge bump in because I contacted them over last weekend due to a payment issue thing. In essence, the one lady I was on the phone with, because when they ran through the card, I've been trying to allocate my funds accordingly where they're kind of supposed to go until I start getting my paychecks back. And apparently it's like when they went to draw for that one, it was like I think the bill usually is like 74 or something. And I think that account at the time had like 55 or 60 or something in there. I just didn't watch it. So they sent the email, said, hey, blank, blank, we need this thing to be done. So I called them, and the one lady on the phone, she's like, the amount of data you have for the amount you're paying is absurd. Like, why do you have that plan? Like, I don't know. I pay you. You tell me what's going on here. She ended up telling me that they're like, well, that plan that you have is like so far outdated, because when we originally got that internet, it was like right when US Cellular came out with the hotspot modems.
Right.
So they gave you, but the plan was 55 gigabytes a month for like $74. Just limited data, but it's high speed, runs off their towers. She was like, you could literally update if you're available. Like if your account or this thing is able to, you could literally upgrade to almost 600 to 700 gigabyte plan a month for 60. Literally 11 times the amount of data for $15 less.
So you signed up.
I said, check that sucker if that thing's good. She goes, yes, come back. You don't even need to do anything. As of September, like, your bill will represent what you're paying for in September. But as of right now, I have a 600 gigabyte plan. So I can literally stream for 24 hours a day for, like, the next 5 to 7 days in a row. And I would probably not even make a dent. If I wanted to, but that's an option now. If I wanted to do a lot more streaming or a lot more uploading, I could use that internet to do it. Or if I like take it on road trips, I take the modem with me because you can plug it into the wall anywhere and it reads off the towers. Saves time and money. If I'm paying for it, I might as well use some of it.
Absolutely. Man, now you're really good. Now you're gonna be swimming in
Enough content. I'm still trying to kick myself back into gear, and yesterday was a rough opening, I tell you what. When I found out that sucker was recorded in the wrong format, I about put my fist right through that monitor. I wanted to cry.
I've recorded a podcast before where there was just no audio, and I had to quickly find somebody who can do a podcast with me for that week so that I can get it recorded and uploaded before the end of the week. You know, it's not like you where, you know, you make money, but for me, it's like I just like to make sure everything's going up at the right times. And it's just like, holy crap, I would rather not miss a podcast this week for stupid reasons. So
No, but now, especially with this, like, because I also ended up readjusting the deal that I had with Boss Man Grant, wherever it was. With our deal that we had on the side, I technically used to get paid a salary, more or less. Mm-hmm. Now I work hourly.
Oh.
It's just for the sake of the amount of time that I was gone with this, plus what I'm trying to move towards, the amount of money he has me on for a deal versus what I make on my own thing, I'm trying to switch those, where I'm still making profit for basically showing up like Tom Cruise to the movie set. You're still a valuable part of the scene. You're still doing that. You're still getting your, in essence, royalties on that. But I'm trying to build this bad boy myself so it can take over, but it's still taking that and making it work. It's going to take time, but now instead of being strapped to this is how much blank a year, you got to show up. If you're not going to do that, I ain't going to pay you that. Well, fine, then let's switch to hourly. If I can't record on Tuesday, I'm not going to be there. Like, can't really do much because you're not paying me for that.
Right.
I take a loss, but I think in the end, just for the sake of business, it was a smart investment move to start going into that.
Right.
So I can move forward, more or less. Right. This whole epiphany of how this thing went down and now it's coming back, I definitely feel it needed to happen because you really are as strong as the weakest link. And the fact that I had everything that this has been built on in the last 5 years stripped away in about an hour and 10 minutes, literally just gone. Yeah, there was some stuff that needed to be addressed, looked at, rearranged, and I would never wish that one upon anybody. Holy cow, that was bad.
Yeah, well, you know, I watched Linus Tech Tips video when it happened to him, and he's just like, you know, the past 10 years of his life, just gone. And he's got 100 people relying on him, and now it's like, holy crap, he can't pay them, he can't do anything.
Yep.
Luckily, you know, he's big enough, he's got YouTube reps, and, you know, he knows how to, and he's tech, so he can clean the computer himself, but, you know, there's small YouTubers like you that this happens to.
Honestly, it does, but I will say this much, the level of ease it actually was, like, I still kind of don't really know what I did to get a hold of the right people in the right manner, but as panicked as I was, it was actually super simple once I got to the Twitter part, because Twitter was the way I was supposed to contact them. Once I figured that out, things were sailing along pretty quickly to get the channel back. If I wouldn't have got a hold of YouTube via Twitter, I'd probably still be trying to fight for the channel to get it back. Because the rule is, not necessarily even bless their hearts, talking to YouTube is the golden ticket to getting anything back. Talking to Google is useless.
Right.
They're as useless as a box of rocks.
Right.
Now, the one guy I actually did get a hold of from YouTube, from Google, he tried to help. I give him that. He actually gave me some good advice, but the problem was that because they didn't have, it's like I didn't have access to that email at the point besides the computer, which at that point was up in Papillion. It's like anything that he was telling me, it wouldn't have helped anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what YouTube pulled to get my email back. 'Cause, I mean, I was locked out, recovery keys. Somehow it was like a security key that you make a physical copy because they like clone the computer. I mean, I was locked out. There was no way of getting this thing back. And then YouTube just sends me once I send them a video that it's like, this is what happened. Like, I'm locked out completely. Like, there's no way of getting this back. I get an email sent to my new one that I made that goes, oh yeah, you want to change the password to this email? Just click on this and you can do that. Just send me a link. And I got my email back. Changed passwords, locked my own self out, made new backup codes. I mean, I have that thing locked up like Fort Knox. My the contact email for the channel now is completely different. It's completely separate from the channel itself. Then just for all of my own primary stuff, so like PayPal, Twitter, any of those are all under the new other primary email, which that's also locked up like Fort Knox. The only one that this technically has tethered to it anymore, the primary, my CJ one that I usually always use, that's used by this. And 90% of the accounts that I had that were just like, Staples is sending you some promotional thing that you could care less about, but that's the email that they had on the account. So other than basically YouTube and Google stuff alone, this email now is only a solo act on this channel.
Right.
I have everything else separated, and they're all three locked down. Nothing gets in between those.
Oh, good. Good. A learning opportunity.
It truly was.
So what did you do during this whole process? Like, while your computer's getting cleaned and while you're waiting for YouTube to get back to you, what do you do?
I was trying to figure that one out myself. For the first few nights, it was storming up and down the hallways, going, why do I even exist? And basically having my entire identity stripped from me. Because the other problem was that being a jack of all trades is an absolute blessing for the fact that it's like I'm not great at anything, but it's like I know just enough, or I can get away with just enough knowledge and just enough experience and just enough you could do this to do things. But I've never ever really had like a set, I'm good at this, so I can go and do this for money. Like I can't go do a 9 to 5. I don't have the ability to say I have multiple investments that I could live off. I mean, I had everything taken away from me.
Right.
So it was literally me just trying to find out who the hell this was without this.
Right.
I lived under this face for however many years, so I was forced to go out and more or less just find out who the heck I was and why I technically still have a purpose. And once I started getting everything back, it was okay. Enough of wearing the mask. Be the person behind the mask without having to have the mask.
Okay,
so, I mean,
Bane.
I had to find projects to do. I tried working on things. I went to a couple car shows. Once I finally got the channel back enough to bandage it back together until I got the computer to fix the rest. I mean, I was doing the shorts. I was trying to just get out and do things. And then the week after I got all that stuff back, so in between getting the computer and the channel, I broke my red car to a point that it can't drive anymore. I sold my Honda back to my dad 2 days before this because at the end of the month, it's like, okay, so all profits have been cut off. I mean, like for 2-3 weeks, I wasn't making anything.
Right.
And that was, okay, yikes. I got bills coming in multiple parts of the month.
Right.
I was freaking out. So I sold the car back to him for logical reasons of, I mean, sometimes it's a little bit of money. Sometimes it's, for other ways, it was, I told him if he wanted to buy it back, he could. And then I break the brakes on my other working car.
Did you just replace the brakes?
I did, but the problem is there's a small little elbow, a little plastic elbow that comes from the back of the brake tank, the brake reservoir tank. There's a line that comes in there, and it goes into the back of the brake pump, which the little elbow comes from the pump and then runs the line. that elbow was broken because on my original car, before when I'm on my car and then I have the parts car, the parts car is 200,000 less miles.
Right.
So parts in there are going to be a little bit less worn and torn. The part that I needed off of them shared that same little elbow. When I went to take it off of my original car, it snapped in two. It's 30-year-old plastic from General Motors. It's garbage. It's gonna snap. So I'm like, okay, be careful with it. We'll grab the other one. We'll grab the part we need. We'll get the elbow. We'll be fine. Nope. Both of them snap in half.
Oh boy.
This system is called the TGIF system. It was only made for, I think, like 5 or 6 years to my knowledge. They put it in. It came from Germany. It's a German brake system. It's got electronic anti-lock brakes. Basically, it was a piece of crap. They went right back to the old brake system. Like, if you were to go to a Pull-It yard, a Copart, a U-Pull-It, any of those, you cannot find this brake system in any car. It has basically the same components as a majority of other vehicles, but the system itself, no. You're spending at least $2-3 grand possibly to get one of those in pristine condition.
So what are you going to do then?
Originally, what I did when I snapped the two was I took one part from one and one part from the other that were in good enough shape, filed them down so they were smooth, plastic welded that together, and then I JB welded around that. So, I mean, this thing was like concreted like Fort Knox. Like, nothing was getting inside of that thing. And it cured for like 2 days before I even put it in beforehand. This was like a few months ago. Yeah, the JB weld cracked off. Like, it melted and cracked off. So when I went in there, I saw my brake light was on, but I didn't think anything of it because I just fixed the coil. So I'm like, the computer's just having a field day. And when I went back and looked under the car, there was a massive puddle of fluid underneath of it. And then I went back and looked at it, and it was just all wet, and I touched that line. Literally, it just snapped off. So I was this close to not having brakes at all for my car. Like, I would have literally died coming home from Branched Oak because my brakes were just that brittle.
Jeez.
So I have a guy that I bought the parts car in Buffalo. He says he has one of those little elbows sitting in its little bag up at his house, but he's currently right now either on vacation or buying another car over in California because he parts these things out. So whether he has that or not, he says he'll sell that to me once he gets back home. But other than that, the only other thing I could technically do is just have someone 3D print one.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wonder if you could 3D print a bunch of them and then just, when those break, because it's just PLA, I just replace it.
I might actually have to do that, and you probably would know more people that actually do that than me.
I know one person that 3D prints, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if he would know how to build a model like that. I haven't talked to him in years.
I know I have a handful of people that I could, well, not a handful, but I at least have connections to people that would know how to get that done, but you'd also have to use some high heat plastic because, of course, if it's sitting in an engine bay that's running at 220 degrees Fahrenheit for Lord knows how long, it's got to be durable.
Yeah, like I said, PLA's probably not going to work. I'm sure there are ones. Does it have to be plastic?
No. Literally, as long as it is the exact same dimensions, it doesn't matter what it is. It just can't melt.
I say we take a trip to Menards and we manufacture something out of a piece of aluminum.
Joke's on you. You could technically do that, but there's a specific fitting area on the back side of the plastic that plugs into the brake pump that has an O-ring on it. You'd have to literally lathe the thing.
Yeah, I don't have that yet. I wish. I want. That is, said if I get ever be a big YouTuber, I want to have a whole workshop. I want to lathe. I want to mill. I want to CNC. I want to do all these things, so we can build all kinds of crap.
That'd be fun. We need to get ourselves a complex.
A complex. That's what I said. I want to build a complex out west.
You're just going to be Whistling Diesel with his massive 50-acre complex or something?
Pretty much. Oh, I want to buy it.
Want to do.
Huh?
It's about what I'd want to do. At least maybe not, put a helicopter inside of it and turn it on. As cool as that was, like, bro.
I still haven't watched the helicopter video. I need to watch it.
How do you even explain that to the insurance company? What happened to your car? Why is it, like, damaged? It was hit by a helicopter in a shop with a bunch of people that were probably drunk.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to the insurance company?
You don't. You just buy a new car.
You hit a '69 Charger with what?
I've dreamt about it. What I want to do is I want to go out west, and I want to buy a whole mile by mile square, because out west, out in the Sandals, you can buy that for what it would take to probably buy,
square foot yardage in Lincoln.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, you buy that. You buy it in I want to buy it in a valley, so it'll cost us a bit more than it normally would, because you're not buying the hills, you're buying the area between the hills, because you want it to be somewhat level. And I just want to build a mile-long drag strip, and actually, mile-long drag strip for just purposes. I want a hangar.
Offit's gonna be contacting you soon.
I want a hangar for activities, and then obviously a shop. I want to build a tower to A, drop things from, and then B, we're out west.
You want to be like the trampoline guys.
Well, hey, something about dropping heavy objects from high heights. High kinetic energy kill vehicles.
So you're telling me you basically want to combine like 4 different channels into one, with that one specific structure being the slow-mo guys, the dropping things off the tower guys on the trampoline, whistling diesel, and basically Top Gear with the runway.
So Mr. Beast. Except science-based. Pretty much. Like his video. Did you see his latest video where he drove that train to a pit?
No.
He drove a train to a pit.
I saw the yacht one, but I did not see a train one.
This one came after that. He drove a train to a pit. He blew up a bunch of money. But the point is, literally blew up a bunch of money.
That's fun. That's always fun. I like blowing up money.
Exactly. Now I'm like, he's doing the kind of stuff that, but I would do it for science. Yeah, I need a car that goes, I need a car to break the sound barrier. Why? Don't ask questions.
Well, then I can help you with that. We'll just take my parts car Oldsmobile, shove a Mach 1 engine from a jet in it, and then we'll just send it down the road, because I have no use for it at that point.
I was thinking it's easier just to make rockets.
So we strap the rocket to my parts car and we just blow it up.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna do the implosion test on my 1990 parts car Oldsmobile.
That'd be the most just at the end of the runway, right? At the end of the property, there's just a giant mound of dirt. So it's not quite a mile, because I can't build a giant mound of dirt and concrete on somebody else's property. So I said I think I'd have to buy a bit bigger than a mile by mile, but it'd be a straight flat mile.
No. That's why you buy the mile, and then you build it at a diagonal.
It should still be a mile.
Exactly, but instead of it being a mile straight across to this, you build it across, so you got a little bit more room.
Yeah, the diagonal. I need a calculator.
I don't, because I'm not going to be the one who finds it out.
Here, I have a calculator. Let's do the math here. Trigonometry. Ooh. Oh, okay. So, all right, folks. This is where I do well. So, let's recite the Pythagorean theorem. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the adjoining sides. There you go. So, we want this in feet probably, because doing this in miles doesn't do any good, because 1 squared plus 1 squared is 2. It's still
that one out
it's
by
just
yourself.
2. And the square root of 2. What is the square root of 2? Oh, that's not what you want. Clear. So, the length of our hypotenuse is just going to be the square root of 2, which is 1.4 miles. Perfect.
Exactly. You got another, just basically fourth of a mile. No.
Perfect. I also would like to build like a rail system because you know you can build a nice level runway, but like how are you gonna keep your car that's traveling at Mach bejesus from just and hitting our houses on the other side of the hill or the hangar or the giant pool for water tests?
Where the heck did the pool come into play?
The pool's always been in the plan. You just never let me finish.
Well, wait, where? Just go ahead. I'm done.
What do you mean
I'm
done?
leaving. I'm done. I'm leaving. Bye.
Oh, come back.
This is over. The podcast is done.
Oh, I mean, we can certainly end it after only 30 minutes. It'd be the shortest podcast you've ever been on.
I'm gonna hit this. I'm just gonna.
He's gonna.
Yeah.
No, that's how the U.S. Army and the military test things that go Mach. They put them on a rail.
Yeah.
And you
Just go Mythbusters. Ooh, which I need to find somebody that can weld me Mythbusters on a big piece of metal. It's like this. Because I actually have the piece of metal.
I said will. I don't. He'd have to do it at school though. He doesn't have a welder. He has my dad's TIG welder, but that's TIG, MIG, wire, whatever wire is. TIG, isn't it TIG?
Is it the one where he holds the? No, it's not stick welding.
No, it's wire welding.
I can't remember the difference between the two. There's a reason I wasn't a welder, there's a reason I wasn't a mathematician, and there's also a reason that I did not go into anything that involved going to school.
Blah, blah, blah.
I didn't like it. The only reason that I learned how to do math relatively quick is how I rounded up the receipt at the restaurants, so it was an even number. And then a few extra dollars.
Alright. Stick, MIG, TIG. Perfect. Stick welding, shielded mark, MIG welding. Ah, it is MIG.
Say that's what I was probably gonna side more towards that it was MIG, because I don't remember what the heck TIG welding was.
TIG's the hard one, but it's the best one. There's actually don't even mention all the welding. There's 3. There's actually 4 welding now. Laser welding.
Yeah.
But, they don't mention that.
Very true.
There's also consumable electrode, flux coating. Yeah. Well, they don't have everything. They also don't have welding with a torch. Brazing. Pretty much. So, I don't know if that's really welding necessarily, because you're not really bonding the two materials. I think it's probably the worst way, because you're not bonding the two materials very well. And it's like the hardest way to weld besides TIG. But TIG gets the best result.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, regardless. Well, I don't know. He only has a MIG welder. You'd probably want to use stick, because you got to deposit a lot of material to get that. So, I will tell you.
I figure. Well, I have, because I think Colton said he could possibly do it, too.
Colton. Oh!
Mr. Barbell.
Oh! I was like, what Colton are we talking about?
Colton said he might be able to do it, but he obviously is booked beyond belief by making the Dark Saber and Pirates of the Caribbean swords and other knives and crossbows. That man, good luck with that. You're gonna put yourself on a waiting list probably for 3 years. When you're as connected with friends as I am, well, I might only have to wait 1 month.
Ooh.
Or 5.
Does he know how to weld?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I've seen him weld. I think. I don't know. I watched him
If not, I'll just have him forge the letters on there for me.
I still find the funniest part. So when he was in ag projects back in high school, and this was during one of my free periods, so I didn't have anything to do. So I was out in the shop. I don't remember why I watched him, but I was just there to watch him, I guess. And so he was forging a spoon.
He forged a spoon.
Well, they wouldn't let him make a knife, so he had to forge a spoon. I don't remember if the spoon itself turned into a knife or if he used it as like a handle.
Using mainly spoons, we dig a tunnel under the city and release it into the wild. Spoons.
That's not what the Penguins said, but that is what they did.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sad you didn't get the Monsters, Inc. reference.
Holy crap. Was that really oh my god, I need to rewatch
It was.
I have not seen that movie in...
Enough years. It can't be older than 2001, so it can't be more than 20.
Well, yeah, obviously. But no, I'm thinking it's been at least half my life.
So 10 years.
Yeah, it's been at least 10 years.
Nice.
At least. The last time I distinctly remember watching it was in daycare.
That is sad. You need to watch
When I was like in 5th or 4th grade.
You need to watch Monsters, Inc. again.
Yeah, absolutely. I have Disney Plus.
Walski, progress report. Well, we've broken our last shovel. Rico, find more spoons and get more popsicle sticks. We don't want another cave-in.
Lost a lot of good... Didn't they say they lost a lot of good men even though they didn't lose any men?
I think so.
What the...
Skipper, don't you think we should tell them that the boat's out of gas? Nah. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Oh my god. Phil and I were out stargazing last night, and it was cloudy at the start of it. And we're sitting up, and we're just staring there. I'm like, you remember that scene in Madagascar? And he's like, yeah? We're like the penguins right now. This sucks.
This sucks. I thought you were talking about when Alex is laying on the railing and they're just looking up. He's like, I mean, just look at the stars. Helicopter.
No, it wasn't that.
I mean, just look at the star. A singular dot in the sky.
Helicopter. Yeah, that'll happen when you're in New York City. Brightest place on earth.
Be a star in New York City.
Huh?
I'd be surprised if you can even see a star in New York City.
You might be able to see Vega. Might.
So otherwise, a star.
Anything else you're gonna anything else to see in the sky is gonna be a planet or the moon.
Just a star, just not a star, just a star.
Yeah, you will see Vega, and that is it. Pretty much. I mean, if you're in the southern hemisphere, you'd see Sirius and or Vega, but you don't get such luxuries. What?
Gonna travel back. Go to Greek mythology. See all the gods, then we can go off to their star pattern.
Oh dear God. Well, last night, we know a few constellations, so what I think would be fun is to go to our corresponding latitude, but in the southern hemisphere.
Wouldn't we be in the middle of the ocean or Brazil?
No, we get to go to New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. Allow me to show you. I have multiple ways of showing you, but this way it's cooler.
Really?
Yeah. So we're at...
Alright, well, I'm going to maximize your screen on my end. Okay, here we go.
So we're like at 40, 41. We're up here. So the border between Kansas and Nebraska is 40. So we're like at 40, 42. So if we go down to here, somewhere in here. Right here in New Zealand.
So we get to go visit the Aussies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather go chill with the Aussies.
Yeah.
Except for all the spiders and stuff they have down there.
So you can die? I figured it out one day. Where exactly? I guess I can just pull up
Phenomena.
Google Maps.
Do.
Why did we both instinctually immediately go to make that freaking
I really don't know where that one came from. All I know is that I sat up and I just thought of the Muppets.
the Muppets? All right, 41. So, Wellington. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I found a place. About what I expected. We just got to go to like north of the capital of New Zealand, which is Wellington, I think.
Well, I was like, technically, where the heck would we be, though, if we had to go straight down to the opposite side of the Earth? I think we come out on the ocean somewhere, don't we?
Yeah.
Or it's like in the middle of the Indian Sea, just... nah, water.
Well, we could figure it out. But anyways, no. Yeah, we fly into Wellington. We take like Omaha up to like Denver, and you'll take Denver to either like LAX or New York. And then you'll take an overnight flight to probably Sydney. I mean, they might have a direct flight to Wellington.
Hey, I'll just stay in Sydney.
Yeah, but Sydney's not far. Sydney's too far north.
Well, then I'll just stay at 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Okay.
You're full of all the freaking Disney references today, aren't you?
Hey, I made it my life to memorize. I could literally tell you almost 3/4 of the Cars script from memory, from start to finish. I could probably almost do about 3/4 of it.
See, I would try and figure out what our exact opposite position is, but that would tell people.
I swear I remember I looked it up one time, and it was like in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Okay. Okay, so... we're gonna figure this out. Bingo.
Wait, I'm yawning. Stay awake.
Yep.
Phenomena. Do. Phenomena. Do. Phenomena. Do.
Found it.
Where are we?
Yeah, somewhere in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Yay!
I can't give a more accurate position because, well, then they could just figure out where we live from there. Truth be told,
I already know where we live.
I mean, they know where Lincoln is, so they can probably just figure it out from there, where the opposite position of Lincoln is. But Lincoln is a wide enough area. They can screw it off. Anyways, what was that? Is that a sneeze?
It was, but I put my mic up.
I was like, I just read your head go, and I'm like, the hell was that?
I'm allergic to the light.
Really? You have that? Well, okay. So there is a thing. So there's the thing that you can sneeze when you're exposed to a bright light. There's also a thing where you can be allergic to light, but you don't sneeze. You start breaking out. I saw it on House one time.
No, but I will say that I've always done it where it's like I need to sneeze, so I just look at a light.
Interesting. So you have that one.
Uh-huh.
I won't tasked him to the video on that one time. You won't know who that is, but he's a YouTuber. Anyways, I don't know where the hell this podcast has gone off the rails.
I really don't know, but it just made me think of it because I saw the Nebraska Good Life sign behind you. Did you know that they're changing the Iowa sign?
To what?
They're updating the Iowa sign. When you go like across state lines and it has the Iowa welcomes you, yeah, they're changing that. It's different now. It's not the white backdrop with the traditional. Everyone knows what the Iowa sign looks like.
Right.
I think they even got a new catchphrase too.
Hello? Oh. Buck? Did he die? I think, folks, we have lost Buck. We will return momentarily. Oh, hello?
Did you not? I think it's on your end, bud.
I don't know why it'd be on my end. I have God tier internet.
Oh, I could have sworn I had God tier internet too. Nothing's changed on mine.
Who knows? Doesn't matter. Point is, what were you going to say?
I saw the sign on the whatever. I saw the sign being put up on the news, and I looked at it for 3 seconds and said, "Nope, I hate it. Take it down."
When are they doing the Nebraska one? I thought they were supposed to change that one a while ago.
I think they already did.
No, it's still the Good Life last year.
Oh, is that the Nebraska? It's really not for everyone.
Yeah.
I love that. It describes us all in this state so well.
But it's just Nebraska. So negative.
It's really, though. It's honest. It doesn't matter. It describes us after what everyone else looks at us in a nutshell. Nebraska. To be honest, it's really not for everyone.
I think, but I can get into that. That's a whole thing. Well, I guess I'll just have to see when I go to North Dakota in the coming month.
I'm 95% sure that's the one that they were changing on the news. But yeah, it's like I think the sign's blue. It looks like their license plates, where it's like the main thing is blue, and then the bottom part's like green and white. It says something. I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like.
Well, I guess I will see in a month. A little over a month. Month and a week. I can't believe I'm a month and a week away from that. Holy crap. That's insane.
What are you going to North Dakota for?
I visit my old friend who and his girlfriend moved up there for his job. / degree. He's working on his master's up there.
Oh. Did I ever tell you that I actually went and got a bachelor's degree in something?
No.
Yeah. I got a bachelor's degree in common sense. I'm still working on the master's, but I keep flunking out. It's a really hard course.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Common Sense University, man.
That's where Phil needs to go.
A lot of people need to go there.
That's where Phil needs to go sometimes. He even said it the other day, he's like, yeah, my common sense isn't very good. I'm like, really? You're admitting this?
You need to just go to Common Sense University. There was, I can't remember what I used the example for, but I used that when I was out over in Iowa doing the field work, like doing all the field burning and all that.
Right.
And I was on the front end of the skid steer, like we were trying to get the valves for the hydraulics to go in. There was I think it was because it was one of the first really hot days of the season. And we think what happened was when we took the lines out, it didn't like depressurize the actual fitting enough. So we tried to push the thing in, crank it in, do as much as we could. And eventually we ended up having to literally take the wrenches and loosen the fittings on there. Because there was so much pressure built up in the line. I don't remember what I said for Common Sense University or something. It had something to deal with I had to walk somewhere and somebody was doing something and it was I don't even know.
I watched
all I know is that was the most pain in the neck that I've ever had working with a hydraulic hose. Because it was about the only time I've ever worked with a hydraulic hose.
Oh man. I haven't worked with a hydraulic hose in a long time.
You ever been water skiing behind a truck before?
No.
No, I have.
Oh, I know you have. I've seen the video.
I know. It was real fun. You should try it.
Maybe.
I'm gonna sneeze. I'm either gonna sneeze again, or my nose just really itches. I'm gonna go blow my nose quick. I'll be right back.
Well, while he's away, folks, we're probably approaching the end of the podcast. So, Unless he's got something else to discuss when we get back. I can't imagine we're going to go any further. I have so much crap behind me. Oh, I have super glue. 2 different kinds.
Crisis averted.
Welcome back.
Welcoming back.
Well, unless we have another discussion. We were almost an hour into this podcast.
Well, I guess what else do you want to know?
I don't know. What's next?
What's next? What do we do from here?
Yeah, what's the plan? Do you have a plan? Do you need a plan? Should we come up with a plan?
Well, if it's any better of a plan than what they have going on in Washington right now, I think I'm pretty good.
They don't have a plan.
Exactly.
They have 2
so
plans.
Any plan is a good plan.
They have like 3 plans, and they can't pick, and no one can, and they can't decide on which of the 3 plans to pick. I'm pretty sure one of which is catastrophic destruction of the United States, but you know, that's somehow that one's being the highest ordered picked right now, and it's like, cool.
Well, all we need to do is just send them back down south and let the southern boys take care of them, because when the army shows up after the Civil War starts, all they're going to see is a bunch of lifted trucks, NASCARs, gunshots, and beer cans on the ground, and they're going, we already took care of it!
I can't imagine there'd be a... Who knows?
I don't know. Other than that, I'd pretty much say from here on out, it's getting back into a structure for just more or less a schedule. Build from here. I really got nothing to lose. I mean, I lost to a point. It's like I said, I lost everything, but I lost a little. Now I have everything to gain. I kind of got to take a step back and see what I could really put myself to the ground and put the grindstone. So,
how were you?
About all we really can do from here.
Were you in? Oh, I guess you couldn't have been in videos. So you've been missing for a few weeks in all of Grant's videos and stuff.
Grant's videos, I think they said they made their own Discord call, whoever it was that they worked with, and those 2 worked together. Nate and Grant, they worked together for almost 2 weeks behind the scenes to just making videos or something. They're like, yeah, it was kind of awkward where it was just those 2, because Nate had not had to fill the shoes like that yet, where I was just gone. I told him, I'm like, when you get into this and Grant's you're gonna run with him, it's gonna be straight to the grindstone every single day. You're gonna be doing every single thing. Are you ready for that in case that happens? This is back when we were just starting. He's like, I'm gonna do my best, but I believe I can do it. And the buddy was a trooper. He did it.
Woo.
When the time called, he was able to take the reins, and he pretty much has the same chemistry as me. Just, of course, no one can really be the real Buck, but he gave it his best. He gave it his best effort. I'll give it to the guy. He really was a trooper for what he did. So from here on out, it's just growing from there. That's really all I got.
40K. Can you do it?
It's gonna be a challenge. It'll be a definite. I think the algorithm will work in my favor. I'm gonna pray on the fact that that'll work that way, and we'll get enough people, and I'm gonna get a strong enough of a backing. People know what I stand for. If they don't like it, hit the road, because I really don't care.
Send them here.
I can do that.
We'll take Society's rejects.
Well, did you finally do your 700 subscriber special yet?
Yeah. That was a few weeks ago.
I know, but when you hit it, did you already do the video for it?
The live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I missed out on that one.
Well, yeah, because we hit it during the whole thing, and I'm just like, well, it's got to get done.
I saw that. I saw the post on there. Oh, so it was during when my stuff went to every...
Yeah.
So it was. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, I swear I didn't see it. No wonder I didn't see it. I didn't even have anything.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the weirdest thing, though. When I get on my phone, usually I'd be able to just, I run maybe 5 apps on my phone at all times for the sake if I just go click on something to go do it. Right. I open up YouTube Studios, Gmail, Discord, and once in a while, my CapCut editor, like a photo thing, whatever. None of those worked. Because the fact that they had the email...
Right.
I mean... everything was broken. I'm like, I have no purpose to open my phone anymore. I had TikTok working, but that's about it. My phone felt like I was a useless brick. But
Yeah,
now
I
it's
could
it's
imagine.
nice
I
and
didn't even
public.
think about that. Everything's linked with your email and your phone.
That's
Oh,
that's why I separated all that out. Like literally all of those things now are changed under different email. Like the ones that I know are like super duper important that I could find, I could track down, I could change. All of those have been changed. The ones that are still tethered to this email are either things that it's like I said, it's like Staples is sending me a deal for 15% off school supplies that I'm never going to use anyway, or something like that. But then the
school supplies.
contact email where if, like there's a sponsor deal that I'm never going to do that one of those again. Like obviously there might come a time when there's the deal out there or like somebody sends one to me that I already know that they did well. That I might end up doing, but other than that, get paid for ads. No, get paid by ads, not for ads.
Well, I will say, in the future, you will want to do more sponsorship deals. You want to diversify your income between sponsorships, merch, and ads. You don't want to rely only on ads, because if you don't diversify,
Yeah.
you're gonna and there's another adpocalypse in the future.
Well, I say the problem was the biggest issue that I had was the way that the whole thing went down. Obviously, we know is that it was just a sponsor deal gone bad. I should have seen 5 red flags before anything even existed because of like the look at the email address, look at where it came from, look at the time that it's being done. I mean, there was like 5 things that when you look at like it didn't have a pretty footnote, didn't have a correct logo to the people that probably should have been contacting me, and the biggest red flag was instead of it being from like .nike.com at Gmail or something, it was something .meta. Had nothing to do with that. I'm like, at that point, I should have known. But things happen. We got it back. The point is that it's all back under one roof, and I go from here. Whether that means I go to a point where I hire an editor, whether that means I do something where I actually become a team channel. I just don't have really a reason to do that at this point. With the way I've already structured it, it can be run by a one-man band. It's
Right.
just keeping on that on track, and that's what I'm trying to build and work towards. Because if I want to be a 100K channel, I need to act, prepare, and build, and be able to manage a 100K channel. Because you just don't have one of those overnight.
Right. I mean, you're already halfway there to 100K.
I still don't know how the heck I rolled back over 60 with not even posting or talking about anything
Well,
for 2
I
weeks.
think it was just when you came back, everybody was so excited the channel's back up and running that, you got a bit of a burst.
Which actually, speaking of that, it is 5:16. Video's been live for 2 hours. Let's see where this is at. Because it was sitting at 2 out of 10 when I got that, because Prairie State was the first one to kick off the return of the series stuff.
Well, YouTube's showing 1.4K views.
My end, it says 2K, but it's performing 3 out of 10, which I'll take that. The only ones that are beating it out right now are, of course, the 2 videos that were posted before the drop.
Right.
It's beating out videos that were actually posted before the drop, though, so if that really says anything, I don't really know what else does. I have basically until... If I can get out at least 2 videos by the end of June, I might be able to salvage
July.
this month. What?
You mean July?
Yeah, July. If I could get 2 videos out before the end of July, I might be able to salvage the month and get roughly back up to maybe $800. It would be a stretch because right now my profits went from roughly, I'd say about 1,800 is kind of like an average between what I've done because I've had a month where I did really well and then really bad, but like 17 to 1,800 is about where it was. I tanked down now where it says I'm only going to make like $450. Like, you can even just look that stuff up, but if I can salvage and get about $700 this at the end of July for my August payment, I'll be a happy camper because that shows that I'm getting back on track. But I got a week to get 3 really good's gonna carry the rest of the month back through and go into next month swinging the hammer at full speed.
Right.
So I won't really see a return on. I won't see a return on anything. I bet until September or October, unless I have one. Unless September just blows. No, unless August basically blows up out of the water, and I have like a really really good kickstart, and then Christmas comes back around, and I can finish the year strong. The problem with especially the gaining of the subs is I look at the amount that I still have to go. Within the last few months, I definitely have gained tremendously from June. Like, from January till now, I can't remember exactly where I was before the beginning of the year. I think I was at, like, 42 or something.
You know, you can look at that, right?
Where?
In analytics.
I think I was at... Well, I don't think there's, like, a specifically set, unless I'm...
Yep. There's a way to do it.
Something. Well, hang on. I gotta rotate my main monitor.
Let me see. Let me go to analytics, audience, subscribers, custom. Let's do 1/1/2023. Hit apply, and I can know exactly how many subscribers I have gained since the first of the year, which is 164.
Hold on. Where the heck did you find this?
So go to Studio.
Yep, I'm in that.
Go to Analytics.
Yep, already in that.
Go to Audience.
Yep.
Over on the right-hand side, you'll see the button where you can adjust the date range.
Oh, yeah.
Click that, hit Custom, and then apply 1/1/2023. And then you can look to today's date, obviously, and you can see exactly how many subscribers you've gained since the first of the year.
1/1/23. Wait. Holy cow. Okay, I'm messing this up.
What?
Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, wait. So I think this says that I've done... So January 1st to July 22nd, 13 and a half.
There you go.
So that means I was at 47 before the end of the year. Because I remember I made a poster about it. I made like a, when do you guys think we're going to be at by January 1st or something? I said 45, 50, 55, 100K for fun of it. So we've only done 13,500 in 6 months.
And you've got to do that 4 times now.
4 times by the end of the year. If I can get to 70 or 75, I'd say that's a pretty strong pull from 50 to 75 in a year.
Absolutely.
And that just gets more and more leverage underneath of you for buildings of, like, for you, that gives me more leverage to assist you in getting to the 1,000, the 2,000, all of those different marks, because that's the whole point of this brand itself. I want to be able to say, I built my own channel, I built my own quote-unquote empire, but it's used to build a community. It's not used to build my own tyrant tycoon where this is the best, this is the only thing you're ever going to need in your life, and anybody else that says differently, you can hit the road.
Right.
It's like I want to use it to my advantage, which is why when I had it all taken away in a matter of split second, I mean, the whole world came crashing down.
Absolutely. That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I would never wish how that happened upon anybody else. I mean, it would have been different if it was something where, like, I had a crud ton of investments, or I did this as, like, back in the day, my primary job, but I, like, worked out at the lake, or I worked at a Dillon, or I did something where I was still pulling in other funds from another job. At that point, like I said, I went full-time this. So literally when that got cut off, any job I had pertaining to the computer was just gone. I literally was unemployed for like 2 weeks. But I prepped ahead of time, not knowingly, but prepped ahead of time with assets, funds, where I could technically allocate enough to get through the month to kind of plan for next time. But
now you just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
I will say it's been something else. So, I've been building, I've been working on I've been doing these shorts and doing TikTok. And, there's no runoff from either one, right? TikTok doesn't influence YouTube whatsoever. And YouTube has not influenced TikTok at all. Everything I've built on TikTok has been self-built. And so it's like, it's weird. Think about, what am I at? Got another follower today. What am I at now? 39.
Very nice.
I will say, TikTok, for the last 15 shorts, so maybe even longer than that, 20 shorts or so, it's been very consistent in views. 250 views is about the average. And that's every single day. Pretty much. Just 250 views. Huh?
On TikTok?
Yeah. They don't go up, don't go down. YouTube.
Oh, yeah. YouTube shorts are stupid. And I hate to tell you, even if you get monetized, that's why my channel went so far down in the estimated revenue, because shorts don't pay for nothing.
Well, they also
shorts literally pay nothing.
Well, just the view, it's so random. It will take 5, and it's weird, too. YouTube will just decide to push it in the algorithm, and then it's so random.
Well, you could really do the exact same thing 3 days in a row, and all 3 of them will pull different results.
Oh, I'm sure. I had one 4 days ago that pulled 1.9k views. Why? No idea. But then today, but it always takes 5 hours, I've noticed. I'll upload it at noon, and about 5 to 6 hours later, YouTube will push it, and it'll get 200 views, 100 some odd views, and then that's where it'll sit.
Well, have you ever used the analytics to see what time your audience is on to post it right at that time?
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about what would happen if I upload it at whatever time YouTube says when YouTube pushes it. But it's it's different every day.
Well, that's where I use the.
I also don't have.
When I look at a majority of my audience, of course, since a lot of the audience that I have or that our group mainly pertains to is people that are usually still in school. 3 o'clock Central, which is 4 Eastern to Pacific, all of that, it kind of it's the sweet spot, because if your rush doesn't come at 3 o'clock, usually by about 5 or 6, which is when our audiences are mostly on, that's when the rush comes in. So it's kind of like you get a kickstart from whatever, but there are certain times that I still don't kind of know what I did to get my tiling episode to do as well as it did. Between the promotion that it had from Grant's channel, from the guy that we did the tiling with, Ben, between all 3 of those and the promotion between that and also Prairie State, that one did 40K almost in a week.
Right.
But then ever since then, it kind of got to about 60 and it tapered off. It still is growing, but I guarantee you over time that one will do better. But its watch ratio is 25% compared to anything else. I've noticed that when you have a video that pops off, prepare for your watch duration to go down the drain, because you're getting a lot more people to watch, but they're probably not your average audience. So then when they figure out that it's okay, he's just playing a game, they hop off. Or he's doing this, I'm going to pop off. But on a regular video, if I'm doing something that pertains directly to the series or a certain video and it gets 30,000 or 20,000 on an average, maybe even 15, the watch ratio is 35, 36. Maybe 30. I'd say average is about 30, but if I can do 30, I'm happy. 35, spectacular. 25, there's probably a reason for that.
Well, this is interesting. So, I've never actually been able to look at my gender demographics before because I've never had enough viewers.
Uh-huh.
And now I do. It obviously, our channels have always been this way. It's always males. It's always male, especially in science, And then in farming sim, it's always going to be male dominated. What's yours? Because mine's 86.1% male.
86.9.
I have more females watching me, which I mean makes sense. There's probably more interested in. Well, I do a lot more shorts.
But what is the age demographic?
Yeah, viewer age. So I have 33.6% is 18 to 24.
Surprisingly, you have more in that one. I only have 30.4.
And then I've got 34.4 and 25 to 34.
23.8 in mine.
Yours, let me guess. Your 13 to 17 is where all your freaking views are.
Nope.
Really? Where is it?
My 11.6. It currently sits at 4th place.
Really? Where do you get
I have more people watch in the 35 to 44 range. But that's also because, think about it, they're watching on a parent's account.
That's true.
So I could technically have a lot more of an audience that's in a younger demographic, but because of the fact that it's reading in there, it might push my stuff more towards that market, which is why I feel that if I do these projects like doing the mower, doing my car, doing restorations of things, going out to the real farming, my content's going to push a little bit better because by default, it's already showing to an older demographic that's going to understand that. So instead of watching somebody do it on a game, they're watching it doing it in real life. And if I can keep my energy and how I talk on the camera and just in general, you can carry it. You can carry the room of an audience. Like yeah, sure, doing the same thing over and over again with the same equipment and farm sims not going to get you views.
You want to watch a good video?
Oh dear.
The video I'm uploading this week. When's the end of this week? I don't have a calendar easy.
It's the 28th. I think it's the Friday.
Yes. So Saturday, the 29th. That's when my July video go up.
Oh dear.
It'll go up Saturday.
I'll be in San Antonio.
Oh well. Either way, if and when you can.
What did you do?
I blew up a cinder block by accident.
How do you blow up a cinder block by accident?
Well, I can't spoil the video for the kiddies, so we'll have to end the podcast for me to show it to you.
Ha!
So, folks, that's where we're going to end today. Go check out the Railman Buck. I know you're all already from over there, so, is what it is. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcast every Friday, 12 p.m. Central Time. And good night.